Welcome to the first of 4 Western Cover Crops Council's Intermountain Subregional Conference from the Ground Up webinars. My name is Steve Hines, and I'm an extension educator for University of Idaho, and I'm located in Jerome County, which is in the south central part of the state. And of course, we have to thank Western SARE for the funding for the grant to make all of this project possible. I would now like to introduce the first of the speakers today. For the first presentation, Jeremy Allen and Matt Yost. Jeremy Allen is a second career, first generation farmer based in Bend, Oregon. And his co-presenter, Matt Yost, his current position is as an Agroclimate extension specialist with Utah State University. So Jeremy.
So the Western Cover Crops Council was the last region of the SARE regions to form. We got grant funding to start ourselves off, and then now we'll start running independently, although not until we've used up all of our grant money, of course. The board of directors was founded in November of 2019, and then we elected officers in March of 2020. And as the only farmer on the council and the board of directors, I think I got railroaded into being the president. And as any farmers who are paying attention know, all the academics think we do is just sit around watching plants grow and animals eat. So, why not let me head one of the biggest challenges that we have, which is managing a huge area of land to start getting people to use more cover crops. But I'm up for it, and it sounds like it's fun for me. We are the largest landmass covered out of all of the SARE regions. We're 1.8 million miles, so 1.8 million square miles. Of course, I'd like to give a shout out to Alaska, which in this map is only showing it about the same size as Washington, which is really more like this size. So thanks, Alaska. We're the most important now, of course. The other thing that's really important to mention is that we have a diverse biomes and ecoregions, and this is a USDA map right here showing all of the small ecoregions. And where we're talking about specifically, you see there's a whole number of them. And as the mountains play a role, people have their own unique altitude and weather and growing season and sunlight. So this is kind of a real big challenge, but the Western Cover Crops Council is up for the task. The biggest thing that we have to offer people is that we have a great website, and that website's still in development, but we're getting it going now. And you can visit it at www.westerncovercrops.org. You may notice if you check out ours compared to the other cover crop councils, that our website looks a little different. We're trying to be innovative here. And we went with this kind of idea that everybody involved can appreciate plants. And so using the plant as the kind of common ground between all of the people, the researchers, the farmers, the seed developers, we can find that. So I always encourage people to come on over to the website, check it out, explore it. Feel free to reach out to us, and you'll find that you have local regional members as well. The mission of our Cover Crop Council is to facilitate and enhance communication and collaboration that promotes the successful adoption and integration of cover cropping into the Western U.S. agricultural systems, which is a mouthful, and really all we're really trying to say is grow more plants. And by this, we mean grow more diversity of plants on your farm, grow more types of plants, grow pre-crop and post-crop, and then, of course, across time. So whenever you have anything possibly growing under land that you control, we hope that you'll be growing something. The reason is because now cover crops, they're not really a solution, but they're more of a tool. This isn't the one big fix that'll fix everyone's farming woes, but it's a tool that we use. And so one of the most important things we like to point out is that if you don't pick the plants, nature will. And we spend a lot of time and energy fighting weeds, when in fact we could be choosing the species that we would be planting. The next thing is that living roots in the ground equal healthier soil. And there's going to be a lot of presentations about a lot of this stuff. But the big focus from the Western Cover Crops Council's perspective is we want to get people in through the door and know that cover crops can be something that you can be integrating into your farm. The more microbiology that you want in your soil, they live in the apartment complexes that are the roots of your plants. So the more plants you have growing and the less fallow land that you have, the better off your soil will be. Biology trumps chemistry, and this is just an idea that we don't really know everything, but nature's been doing this a lot longer than we have. And the more that we emulate nature, the better off we are. And we've kind of been led down this path to focus only on chemistry, on potassium and nitrogen, when in fact it's a lot more complex than that. And as you probably all know, zooming out a little bit and getting more towards the plant life and then letting the fungi and the bacteria doing their thing is kind of a greater focus for us. And then the last thing I would point out is that the improved economics. Of course, everybody wants to know that they'll make more money, and it's a short-term and a long-term solution. It decreases farm inputs and it increases farm outputs, and that's a double reason that we should be incorporating more cover crops into the toolbox of our farm program. Of course, a lot of people here, and I get this all the time, say, yeah, but this doesn't really apply to me. And to that, I usually ask, can you grow plants on your farm? And people always tell me, yes, plants grow on your farm. And that's all you need to get in. If things can grow on your farm, then you can get into cover cropping. I mean, if Matt Damon can fly to Mars and grow potatoes with Martian sand and his poop, then you too can farm cover crops. So, and I will throw out the USDA has told me to say that you should not poop on your fields. That's pretty much it from me here. I've got some cool pictures. This is a cover crops from my field. We've got a purple top turnip with some little mushrooms growing off the side. Off to the right, we've had a significant increase in the predatory insect life. So we've got a European mantis there, if you can see them blending in. And then of course, in the middle, one of my favorite terms I've ever encountered in my program is that I terminate by scythe. So we get rid of a lot of our cover crops with scything here. But yeah, so that's what we've got. I think we'll turn it over to Matt. There we are. Welcome to the Western Cover Crop Council.
Thank you. I today just want to give a quick announcement of one component of the Western Cover Crop Council and leave you with an invitation. Jeremy mentioned that the Western Cover Crop Council covers a very large geography, as you can see. And as you look across this geography, you quickly will notice that there is a huge diversity in the types of cropping systems that are present in this region. You don't have to go far from Central California to the northern part of Montana. You'll see a very different climate, very different crops that are being produced, and different applications of cover crops. For that reason, the Western Cover Crop Council has decided to incorporate regional committees so that we can focus on regions that may have similar climates, similar cropping systems, similar concerns, opportunities for cover crops, to try to build another level into the efforts and the leadership to focus on regional specific issues and applications. So there's 4 regions that have been developed within the Western Cover Crop Council, and you can see those here on the map. Each of these regions is forming a committee, and these committees are consist of 5 to 10 people that would represent that region and try to coordinate the activities and the responsibilities of that region. Each region has a chair of the committee that will kind of help organize and lead efforts of the committee. Currently, I serve as the committee chair for the Mountain Range Committee, as you can see in green. We are just starting to form this committee, and so we're looking for interested participants to get involved. Okay, so if you were involved in the Mountain Range Committee, what would your responsibilities be? What would you do? Here are a few things that you would do as a part of this committee. The first couple are to support the Western Cover Crop Council Board of Directors, the main board of directors that represents the whole Western United States. You would also help to direct regional Western Cover Crop Council activities. The ultimate goal of the Western Cover Crop Council and of each of these committees is to help producers, help others in the industry have the knowledge, tools, skills that they need to assess and incorporate cover crops into their operations. And so that ultimately that's what these regional committees are trying to do, is promote the wise stewardship of cover crops in their region. So in order to do that, some of the things that these committees would do would be to highlight and share cover crop innovations or success stories, collaborate on grant funded projects so that we can develop research and education outreach focused on cover crops. Also, as a part of the committee, help develop ideas for research and education grant proposals that would increase adoption related to the last topic. Also discuss some of the successes and the challenges with cover crop adoption, research and education. And then there's opportunities to contribute to larger efforts of the Western Cover Crop Council as a part of their website, social media, and other avenues. And so I'll leave with an invitation. We're currently trying to form this committee. We're looking for 5 to 10 participants and for a range of participants that would include farmers, industry folks, university, government agency folks, just a wide variety of people that are interested in cover crops. So if you live or farm or work in Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, or New Mexico, and you have interest in being involved with the Mountain Range Committee and with the Western Cover Crop Council, we would love to have you. If you're interested, you can reach out to me at my email, which is easy. It's just matt.yost@usu.edu, and I'll provide it when I present later. You can also go to the Western Cover Crop Council webpage and click on regional committees. Underneath regional committees, you'll see the Mountain Range Committee, and you can easily email or contact me through the website as well. So with that, I'll leave you that invitation, and we would love to have you if you're interested.